morning, everybody. Welcome to the Budget Finance Economic Development Committee. It's now 9:04 a.m. My name is Yuki Leisugimura. I'm the chair of this committee. I'd like to welcome everyone for being here. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Sunshine Law. As a reminder, when your name is called, if you're not in this finance conference room, which is everybody except Tamara Fulton, please identify who's with you in the room, vehicle, or workspace. And first, I'll start off with Member Fulton. Good morning.
Aloha kukaya kukaku, streaming live and direct from the finance conference room.
Good morning. Member Batangan. Vice Chair Batangan.
Hey, good morning, Chair. Calling in from my office. I'm alone in the workspace.
Good morning. Member Cook. Joining us, right?
Oh, Member Cook will be a little bit later.
Oh, okay. Member Johnson. Good morning, Member Johnson. Can you hear us? He can't hear us. Can you hear us? No, he can't hear us. Let's try.
Member Johnson. Member Johnson, can you hear him?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, we can hear you. Okay. Good morning, Shirley.
Good morning. If you're going to Kenya after the primary, you can say hello to everybody by saying Kujamba. I'm here alone in my workspace and looking forward to your meeting. Thank you.
Did you say Kujamba?
Kujamba. You Jamba? Kujamba. Yeah.
All right. Member Rollins Fernandez, Kujamba.
Not me, Jumbo. Just kidding. Aloha kakayaka kako. My Molokai Nui Ahina. I'm at my private residence alone in my workspace right now, but my two minor children will be walking around, I'm sure, on their last day of summer. School starts tomorrow. There are no testifiers at the Molokai District Office. Mahalo, Chair.
Okay. Member U Hodgins.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. Hujamba. My husband is home. He's an adult. My oldest son is also home, and he's an adult, but I also have three minors. As Member Rollins Fernandez said, it is the last day of summer, so everyone is living their last summer best days until tomorrow's reality hits them hard, where they got to wake up for school. Thank you.
And I guess you too, because I know you're always driving everybody around. So good morning, Member U Hodgins. And Member Johnson, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can. Sorry, I had to restart. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm alone on my side of the office. No testifiers at the Lanai District Office. Now I'm here and ready to work. Sorry about that issue. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So assisting us with today's meeting, we have the BFED committee staff. Thank you very much for all the hard work. And we have other invited research personnel from the administration, which will include, we have Managing Director here. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Always nice to see you. And we also have Deputy Director of Water. Good morning. Good morning. And I think we have Director of Finance here. Do we have Marcy Martin? Yes. Good morning, Marcy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Budget Director is here. I don't see you.
She's logged in, Chair.
Okay. Oh, there you are. Hi, Leslie.
Hello, everybody.
Deputy Corp Counsel Wigglesworth is also with us in person. Good morning. Assisting us today, we have also invited for the first item in force all of the people who will help us go through this resolution for the Laniapoko and Oluwalu resolution. So Felicia Jane, Senior Assistant Manager, Lead Vice President, Gorolo Engineers, Zach Wright, Partner for New Gen Strategies and Solutions, Nick Comer, Manager for the New Gen Strategies and Solutions, and Jingo Tamayo, representing Maui Taxi Cab Operators, and Mr. Rudy Mendoza, representing Maui Taxi Operators. They're here for the second item. Please also see the last page of the agenda for information on meeting connectivity. Thank you, members, for us attending today's BFID committee meeting. And we actually have 3 items on the agenda this morning. The one is BFID 62, Resolutions 26116, authorizing the acquisition of water systems assets from Laniapopo Water Company, Inc. and Oluwalu, thank you, Water Company, Inc. BFID 20, paren 30, taxi cab rates and fees, rates of fare and baggage charges. BFID 64, Bill 101, 2026 on the taxi cab baggage and equipment charges. Okay, let's begin with public testimony. Do we have any? Do you have any testifiers?
Thank you, Chair. There's currently no one signed up to testify.
Thank you very much. So members, with your permission, I'd like to close public testimony and receive any written testimony.
Chair,
Yes.
I thought someone was supposed to call in and testify, but I don't, if you guys say no, he's not there, then he's not there, but
Who is it?
his last 4 digits was 7893. Okay, if he's not on, then he's not on. Thanks.
Okay, we're checking one last time.
His name's Jonas. He was, I don't know, maybe if he didn't, he didn't, but I thought he was supposed to, and it's his first time testifying, so I thought he might need a little help.
Okay.
Chair, we don't see anything wrong.
Okay, so staff is saying we don't see anybody. With your permission, Member Johnson, I'm going to
Okay.
close public testimony then. Okay, so we can move on. All right, so we will now take up the first item, which is Resolutions 26116, authorizing the acquisition of water system assets from Laniapopo Water Company and Oluwalu Water Company, Inc. This first item would authorize the county to acquire the Laniapopo and Oluwalu water system assets and associated easement rights. The total purchase price would be up to $6 million. That's up to, excluding closing costs and expenses. The Water and Infrastructure Committee discussed the proposed acquisition under a discussion only item on July 27 and reached a presentation from the Department of Water Supply. For your reference, a copy of the presentation is under Granicus number 3 for BFID 62. Members, following the WAI Committee July 27th meeting, the committee submitted follow-up questions to the Managing Director and the State Commission of Water Resources Manager. The Managing Director's responses is available on Granicus file for Y110 as document number 6. Today, BFID may consider whether to recommend adoption of the resolution. So assisting us with our discussion today is the Managing Director, as well as Deputy Director Landgraf, Marcy Martin, Budget Director Milner, Felicia Gaines, Zach Wright, Nick Palmer, and so member, if there's no objections, I'd like to designate the representatives under as resource person under Rule 18A of the Rules of the Council based on their work evaluating and appraising the water systems being considered. So this time I'd like to ask for opening comments from Managing Director and Deputy Director Landgraf, Ben Martin, and then Mr. Nishida, you can direct other resources.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Thank you, committee members, for allowing us to be here today. Really appreciate the discussion we had last week. Thank you to Councilmember Cook for scheduling that and then the kind of robust discussion that we're able to have. We don't have a presentation to give today. We'll rely on the presentation that was presented last week. We did submit responses to the questions that were submitted in writing, and happy to address any follow-up that's needed. Of course, as Chair mentioned, we have our team here today, as well as some additional resources that were requested in case there's any questions as to the appraisal process and other aspects related to that. Beyond that, Chair, happy to get into discussion and address questions as the members may have.
Okay, thank you very much. Deputy Director, do you have any comments?
Pretty much what Josiah said, right? We answered all the questions that were submitted, and we're just here to answer more questions, and hopefully council think that this is a good acquisition.
Okay. Anybody else that you would like to Dear.
No, our resource people are online in addition to kind of our financial folks and whatnot. So just as members have questions, we'll refer to appropriate.
Okay, so nobody else.
Yeah.
Okay. So this time, members, I'm gonna ask member Paulton if you have questions, and 3 minutes.
Sure. I do believe we have to open up testimony for this item.
Oh, that's right. Fine. All right, do we have any testifiers for this item?
Thank you, Chair. I don't see anyone signed up currently, but I can do a last call if you would like.
Yes, please.
Thank you. This is the last call for testimony on our first item on the agenda today. If you would like to testify, please raise your hand on Teams using the raise your hand function, or if you are calling in, use *6 or *5 to raise your hand. This will be a last call for testimony on this item. 3, 2, 1. Chair, I see no one wishing to testify.
Thank you. So at this time, then I'm going to close public testimony for this time of the meeting regarding the resolution and receive your testimony. I'm going to close public testimony. Okay. Thank you very much. So going to the member Paulton first, since you're sitting here.
Thank you. Mr. Landgraf, it was you and Cololo Engineering walked all the pipes and everything like that.
The whole system, looking the well sites and
What kind of pipe do they use? Is it like PVC, steel?
so they use a combination of ductile iron, C900, which is a type of PVC that is basically, it's almost the same as ductile iron, but it's on the plastic side, right? And they have copper.
Okay. And then I read that Lion Popo Water Company has 402 total water system active meters.
Yes.
Are they adding new or would that need to go through sewer and pump? Because
That would be,
growth rate 1% annual.
yeah, so that would have one, we acquired the system, then they would come to us with this year.
And same for the Olowalu potable.
Same thing.
Okay. And then in reading the region, they said some of the things like all existing liens and encumbrances have been disregarded or something. Is that?
So, I'm sorry. Yes, we've looked at it as,
Can you identify yourself, please?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My name is Zach Wright, and I'm from New Gen Strategies and Solutions. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we've looked at it as if there are no encumbrances and everything is within the public right of way.
Okay, so I just wanted to clarify, when you say you looked at it as though there are no encumbrances, does that mean there are no encumbrances or you just disregarded encumbrances?
As far as we are aware, ma'am, there are no encumbrances. Everything is within the public right of way as far as utilities go.
Okay, and then have you inspected the pig reservoir spillway?
Did a inspection of a representative sample of the systems in general. I am uncertain at this point whether or not we inspected that certain thing. I would have to go back and look at our records.
Okay.
So we know where it is. We didn't actually walk right to it and look at it.
Okay. Just somebody had reported to me that the spillway has like pieces of metal or something.
Yeah, so we've heard, so we can go back and look at it, but I don't think it's really anything that will cause it to, that can't be taken care of very easily.
So would that be part of their responsibility before turning it over to us is fixing that?
It hasn't been discussed, but
Okay. And then I guess for Corolla engineers, okay, next time.
Sure, you can longer, yeah. Why don't you go on for a moment?
Just one more question, for Corolla engineers, did they notice any, leaks above normal in the system, like, comparative to other systems? Were there a lot of leaks or reported leaks or replaced, fixes in the past? Is Felicia James part of
Yeah,
Corolla?
we should.
Oh, can she be in it?
Good morning. I'm Felicia James, representing Corolla Engineers. And in our observations of the system during our site walks, we did not notice leaks of anything above normal.
Okay, and you didn't see the pig reservoir spillway?
Not that I recall. I'd have to, as was stated, I'd have to go back to my notes to look at that specifically.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Okay, so, members will have 5 minutes, because of the interest of this item. So next we'll have Chair Lee.
This would be for water. Is the Board of Water Supply meeting on this topic this week? Like on Thursday?
16.
Deputy Landgraf?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's on, it's actually online for going all a while. I don't know what the agenda is, sorry, Jeff.
Okay, that's the information I have according to the board's agenda. I was wondering if you knew ahead of time what their concerns are.
No, I don't. I can try to find out, but I don't know what their concerns are.
I think it has to do with conditional permits. Okay, so you don't know. I was wondering why they're meeting after after our meeting. You know, it doesn't kind of make sense.
Yeah.
But don't you help them set up the agendas? Well, not you personally, but your office.
Usually the director does that, and I haven't looked at the agenda.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I need to appear, then I know what it is, but usually if I don't, then I.
Okay, can you remind me if there's any additional water to be obtained in either Laniopoko or Oluwalo?
Yes, there is.
How much?
I would say about roughly around 200,000 in Lanipopo and about the same, a little bit less or about the same amount in Oluwalo on the potable side.
On the portable side. Okay, and then let's see, how much again will it cost to operate these systems? Cost the county?
I have to go back. Sorry, Jerry. Okay, so the annual, sorry.
Go ahead.
So operating cost for Lanipopo is $879,000 a year. For Oluwalo, the total non-potable and potable is $671,000.
So the customers on these systems would be essentially paying for that in fees?
Yes, based on our rate structure.
Okay, so we would either be breaking even or making some money on those fees?
Yes. Yeah, Chair, it depends on usage too. So we did an analysis based on current usage, and this came up at the last meeting. I think Councilmember Rollins Hernandez was asking about this, but based on current usage and the current fee structure, there's a surplus in revenue over the cost to operate the system. What would remain to be seen is with the increasing costs of usage, would that curb additional kind of conservation?
Well, the main thing is that we're not going to be in a red, in a negative position, right?
Yeah, if usage remains the same and the rate structure is what it is, council already passed that, then there would be a positive over expenses.
Okay, and then also because this area is designated, how likely would we be able to get more water, even though more water is available?
Well, I can't say what CRM's gonna say. We can ask them. They do like it that the municipality would be in charge of the system, so it may be more favorable for them.
Okay, who currently maintains this system?
What it's people from West Maui land. They have people on the line for walls.
Okay, and how many customers are on this system? Both of them?
I think 402 on the line Pogo side and about 72
Non-potable and 79 potable.
yeah 72
Okay.
non-potable and 7.
Okay, so then do we have to go to be approved by the PUC?
No. They have to approve the sale.
They have to approve the sale.
Yes, well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're basically would be analyzing whether we could continue to, operate the system and maintain service to customers.
Well, my main concern is that we're not going to be operating at a loss because it's just not worth it. Okay, thank you. I don't see too many benefits here. Thank you.
Okay. So next then we will have Member Batangan, Vice Chair Batangan, followed by Member Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. Can I go back to the response to the last question? You said the PUC looks to at a bunch of different things, but one of them was maintaining service to existing customers, correct, Managing Director? So when we last brought this up, I had asked if acquiring the system would mean that we would have to take on any obligations or liabilities, and you said no. And then in our earlier conversation about the West Maui land acquisition, I believe you confirmed that taking on existing customers or the contracts that the company currently has with its customers was an optional thing that was being negotiated. Can you clarify whether or not we are required to continue service to existing customers?
Yeah, Chair, just to clarify what was said was that the PUC is evaluating like whether it's a little different because we have a Department of Water Supply, but to any sale that's occurring, it's ensuring that the entity that's taking over can actually supply water and like manage a system and things like that. So that's what I was referring to in this last comment. And then I'll defer to Kimo. I think he responded at the last meeting in relation to that. Just about the existing customers.
Oh, that was, I think the existing customers, if you're referring to the MLP, I think you're referring to MLP, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have to look at those contracts and we're gonna see what's in there.
Okay. But with regards to acquiring this asset, there's no obligation to continue the existing contracts. There just is a requirement to be able to provide water in general.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's a little bit difficult for the water department. If you are not an existing customer first, we don't have an obligation to take you on as a customer. But with what's happening, we'll take these people on as a customer because they won't get water from anybody else.
Okay. And then, Chair, question for you. So I think you mentioned that there were questions and responses underground, I guess, in items number 5 and 6. I don't see items 5 and 6. I only see you 1 through 4.
Under WAI. You gotta go to
It's under-
topics.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I misheard then. So it's not under your item, it's under Member Cook's committee.
Let me check with staff. I think they put one of the 2 letters in.
It's in Y, July 27.
The response from the managing director is in Y item 1-10 or 110, and it's item number 5. Items 5 and 6 in the BPET file, and we've 62 have been uploaded and they are now in Granicus. And
Okay.
that is the SeaWorm response as well as there's a response from the Department of Water Supply.
Thank you. And I see Member Fulton holding it up for my benefit. Mahalo for that. Okay, so I'll make sure to take a look at those as well. And then can I follow up on what Chair Lee had said regarding the Board of Water Supplies item? So they are taking it up this week, we think. I mean, we just heard an item, I think it was yesterday, where it was requested that the item be deferred until they could weigh in on it. And this was a second round of review that the board was requesting. You know, they had been given legislation, asked for review and comments. Then as a result of revisions made to the proposed legislation because of their comments, it was a slightly different bill and they wanted a second bite at the apple. Have they expressed interest in reviewing this acquisition at all? Because I would, given what we were told yesterday, I would prefer to have them review and comment on the proposal. Do you guys, has this been discussed with the membership in the past, or have they been able to weigh in on it at all?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay. Is there any
I
sort of
checked
time
that.
sensitivity that would prohibit them from being able to review it in the normal course of their business?
I think the only piece we have right now is kind of, the PUC docket, so to say. So that's really the main piece of this. We'll find out the timing of the meeting, and of course, council does have a few options if want to receive that before making a decision, including discharging or deferring at the council meeting till those comments are received, things like that. There's other options at play as well.
Okay, so
Understood.
I have an answer for
No.
about the August 6th meeting. What's on the agenda is a TIG report on the recommendations on the water use permit applications in the Lahaina surface and groundwater management area.
Okay, so that's
not
related or unrelated?
It's related, but not really, right? It's more about how SeaWorm is doing with their permits. Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Deputy.
Are you done?
Yes, I heard, yes, and I heard the buzzer. Thank you, Chair.
Oh, there was a buzzer, sorry. Okay, Member Johnson, followed by Member Ramos Fernandez.
Thank you, Chair. I saw Director Stufflebean come on the call, and I'll allow some of my time to be used if you wanted to add some more for the discussion, Director.
Oh, thank you. I was just going to, Kimo answered the question about what the item was on the agenda this week. So that was what I was going to do, but Kimo answered it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that. So a few of my questions, I'll start off real basic. Correct me if I'm wrong, the two reservoirs are called Pig and Snake, is that correct?
Correct.
Is there a fence around both reservoirs?
Not currently. Sorry, the pig one does have a fence. The snake one does not.
Okay. Is that so? I guess what the impetus of my question is, when we acquire this, do we plan to upgrade certain things? Are we going to put a fence around the second reservoir? We'll start with that. You want to speak to that, Deputy Director?
There will be fencing put around the reservoir when the snake reservoir as part of the post-closing.
Part of the, I'm sorry?
Post-closing obligation.
Oh, great. Good to hear. After the fire, Lahaina, one of the things that is in my memory is the troubles that would happen in our water lines is some melted, and that toxic water, we were concerned of it going uphill, which is crazy to me, and these backflows melt, and it became such an issue, and everybody was so worried about it. So do we have plans to harden or have more of a resilient system if we do purchase this?
Yes. we need to make the changes to make the system more resilient, we will.
Can you give us an example and how much you think it would cost?
Well, they have like an example of something that's currently underway is the Lahaina water line projects, where like extension of lines to allow for like fire hydrants and water service, or like upsizing of lines or things like that. So I mean that's a just demonstrated example of stuff happening in Lahaina now that is related to kind of hardening the system as well as kind of providing more opportunity for like firefighting efforts like that.
So that's the plan moving forward. When we purchase this, we will be able to put in more fire hydrants, right?
If necessary, yes, and correct. If there's something that's not in the right place that we need to add because the distance is too far, then we'll do that.
Okay. I support that kind of work. I wonder if nobody might know right now, but is there a cost or a budget that you think you would need to be asking for in the future to do these type of extra work on top of what, besides purchasing?
There might be. I don't know exactly what the cost would be right now.
Well, if you guys have that kind of desire to do that, I totally would support it myself to do all the extra, to make it more of a beefy system, to be able to, put up fire hydrants if it's needed. And I just think of, Lani Poco, West Maui. I don't know if we ever did solve this fire issue. The grass is still very high and still very dry around these towns. So I don't want to have the same thing happen again if we were to have another tragedy that the lines melted, the backflow melted, and all of a sudden this toxic water is going up in our lines. So hopefully, if there is a thing, that we work on that type of hardening. But it's just a concern I have. That's not saying I don't support this. Of course I support this. It's just if we get this system, then I'd be willing to invest in it to make it more resilient. But it sounds like you guys have a plan, and I'm in support of this. And that's the end of my questions. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, very good. Member Rollins Fernandez, followed by Member Hutchins.
Well, Chair, I asked most of my questions last week in Member Cook's committee. I think there was just one question I can't remember the answer to. For the 2 reservoirs, when was the last time the sludge was removed, or just the buildup?
I know the Snake Reservoir was recently because they relined part of it. I know that's probably going to take the last 2 years or year. The Peak Reservoir, I do not know that answer. I can find out.
Okay. Mahalo. Support. Mahalo, Chair. Paul.
Thank you. Member Hutchins, followed by Member Schroep. I don't see him.
Thank you, Chair. I too asked most of my questions last week when we had this in committee. I guess the only question I have is how are we calculating the breakdown between the purchase price over the 2 different systems?
Yeah, Chair. It's I don't know if that's a question specifically you're referencing to the appraisal that was done. We can refer to our representatives from Jen, but in terms of the acquisition price, it is a package deal for the 2 systems, and the appraisal kind of speaks to itself as to each system individually.
Okay, good. I know the appraisal was a little bit different than what we're ending up paying. But regardless, I'm happy to support. Thank you.
Thank you. Is Member Cook, did you join us? Not yet. Not yet. Okay. So thank you very much for, it's my turn then. I had a concern about the Old Wall Fire Station, and this would be a correspondence with Seawork. So they responded. I haven't had a chance to look at their letter. Are you familiar with it? We just
Yeah, I didn't read the letter either, but the fire station's meter will be installed before we close on it.
Okay, we're going to be fine. Okay. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But question was with seaworm accepted, right? That was my
Well,
question.
just, yeah, but the meter will be put in by the time we.
Yeah, and then my recollection of that, we can go back and look at it, but my recollection of the seaworm response basically said that, you know, once an allocation is made, the jurisdiction would make a determination as to like how that allocation is done.
Okay.
So they essentially are improving kind of like the overall water use. And
Yeah, and we'll see that they can have a lot of right. But that will be done before we even acquire.
Okay, so same thing that I think you answered Member Paulton's question about 402 users for Lania Poco. Oops. And that if there are more, then they would more requests, they would apply to the county. Would that be would they then have to be like a country water meter list if on a a whole system, or you have a system developed so that
Well, it should be sort of like if somebody in PH came now and asked for a water meter, it would be the same type of system. They would go through the same process. And so we would see if there's water available for this.
Right.
And then we look at it.
Okay, but in this case, there is water.
Yeah.
So if there are new, okay, so if there are new requests, then probably they couldn't be like upcountry.
Yeah.
Is that what you're assuming? And then Shirley had questions regarding the land use commission, no, PUC. So PUC, because I don't deal with them a lot, you said that this would go before them just as an approval for the purchase. Would they be adding on conditions or concerns to this that would be of concern to us as a county?
I don't.
Or is it just yes, no?
Well, I don't know is Caleb on the line? Maybe Caleb, if you're on the line, if you want to talk a little bit about the PUC process, perhaps.
Hi, I'm here. Yeah, so sorry, Chair. So the PUC process is really just if it's a regulated industry, they have to approve any disposition of assets. So because these are regulated industries, in order for the sale to go through, they do. However, because we will not be regulated by them once it is transferred to us, they're not really going to put any conditions on them because they don't have jurisdiction to regulate us, is my understanding.
That's good. I would hate for us to go through this and then we find out there's a whole bunch of other things that the county is now responsible for, but that'll be all taken up with due diligence that we would not.
Of our due diligence.
Yeah.
It goes to PUC. It is, basically when you go to PUC, they're going to say, does the person who's taking it over have the financial capability and the operational capability?
So that's what they're looking. Okay. All right, so I'm done. Member Cook, welcome to the meeting. You have questions? Can you hear us?
Good morning, Chair. Sorry I'm late. I'm in my Kihi office and staff is on site. I don't have any questions. I just got here. Thank you for having the meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. Members, does anybody help? Oh, Shirley.
Yeah, I'm not going to support this right now. My understanding is this matter is called out in the TIG report with the Board of Water Supply, and they don't meet until I think Wednesday or Thursday. So I'm going to just reserve, my vote for after I hear what they have to say with regard to this, because they did call this out. They seem to have concerns, and I'd like to hear them. Thank you.
Okay. So how do we get on their agenda? I guess it would be Deputy Director, because this is not on their next agenda, according to what you said.
No, their next agenda has the P report based on the permits in the lineup, surface water, groundwater, and natural area. I don't know if it's actually directly, they're calling out line for water directly. I think they're looking at the permits across the whole state.
The water use permit applications with seaworm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about this? Based upon what Shirley just said,
Shirley said that Stuffle Bean said that it wasn't.
Right.
You can call Stuffle Bean back on.
So
Director Stuffle Bean.
let me finish off with Charity then. Sorry about that.
Yeah, okay. My point is, I have reservations, but if the body wants to move forward and vote on it today, that's entirely up to you. I just said I have reservations, I want to hear what they have to say, and I'll really make up my mind at first reading. Okay?
Okay. Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, this one's for Deputy Director. So I'm reading through the seaworm response that went to Member Cook's committee, and it talks about the process for transfer to the county of the ground and surface water use permits. So it sounds like we're currently, or the two companies are currently applying for permits, and if the sale goes through before the permits are issued, there's no way for the applications to transfer to our name. If the permits are issued after closing, then there is a mechanism for the permits to be transferred to us, but we have to accept all of the conditions placed on those permits. Now, when we were discussing the PUC permits, you mentioned that public entities don't get as many conditions because they're not regulated by the PUC. Is that also the case for seaworm? Is there a benefit for the county to be the applicant in this process, or are we comfortable accepting any conditions placed on Laniopoko and Oluwalu as private entities?
Mr. Rowe just popped up.
Caleb wanted to say something.
Caleb, did you want to say something? You just popped up.
So if Kimo wanted to say something, I'll wait till him, but I can comment.
Yeah, so CRM really has to do about the water use permits, right? The withdrawals on the permit. So whatever it is right now, we'll take what it is. You know, if we transfer before the permit gets done, and we'll use that, and we have to go in and ask for more if we need. We need more. So that's kind of what we're going to stay to right now, because it's about getting through the process, right? And if we need to do something later, then we can do that. But CRM is about water use permits. PUC is about, they're more protecting the customer.
Okay, so there's no advantage to the county being the applicant versus a private entity when it comes to applying for these permits.
Oh, I can take a stab at that, Chair.
Is that Mr. Rowe?
So the way that water that these water permits are looked at is they look at the end use, and there are kind of priorities, amongst the types of usage. One of those is for domestic use. My understanding is that under these permits, they're primarily already doing they're going to be doing domestic use anyway, so they're not really going to get much of a priority over the county, who's also going to be applying based on primarily domestic uses. So I don't think that it will really make a difference.
Okay. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Deputy, something to add? No. Okay. Anybody else have any member Rollins Fernandez?
Oh, Chair, I saw Member Paulton's hand up before mine. I can go after her.
Oh, sorry about that. Thank you, Member Paulton.
Thanks. I just wanted to comment that the State Water Code doesn't expressly establish a procedure for substituting a new applicant for pending water use permit application following acquisition, but it does say that the county should promptly notify CWORM. And I've been to a number of CWORM meetings, and I think that their tone would definitely be different if they were aware that the county was the purveyor of the water system, because of the, I guess, long sordid history of the other folks, like all the violations and fines that they've had to do. Like, I mean, if I was on a commission and I received this information, I would definitely consider the county as a more reputable source, I guess. But I also agree with Mr. Rowe, like domestic usage is high up there, below DHHL and TNC uses, of course. So I mean, regardless if it was Westmont Land or Hawaii Water Service or the county, I don't think the objective of CWORM is to cut off water from domestic users, regardless of who is the purveyor of that water. Thank you.
Very good. Anybody else have any comments? Now go to member rounds for this.
Yeah, mahalo. So what's on the Board of Water Supplies agenda on Thursday is what Deputy Director and Director of Water both said, which is the TIG report. And in the TIG report, it has several appendices. The appendices go over the designation of the Lahaina Aquifer sector as a water management area, water use permit process with the Lahaina Aquifer sector, summary of applications received for the Lahaina surface and groundwater management area status and key dates, Maui Land and Pine and County of Maui Department of Water Supply Memorandum of Understanding the legal status of water sources, the legal status of Maui Land and Pine's diversion of Honokohau Stream, and the legal status of diversions from Kauaula Stream. And then it goes into Honokohau, Kanaha, Honokohau. None of them are talking about the Olowalu system or the potable system for Launiupoko. It does have the Launiupoko Irrigation Company, LIC, under the legal status of diversions from Kauaula Stream. But that is not the system that we're acquiring. We're only acquiring the groundwater system from Launiupoko, not the surface water. So it does not go over any of the systems that we're talking about in today's meeting for Board of Water Supply. Board of Water Supply also knew that we were considering the acquisition of these systems for months. And if they had a concern about it, I'm sure they would have agendized and had a discussion on it. There is, so on slide 25 from the presentation in WAI committee last week, Member Cook's committee, there is a slide on the annual operating cost and revenue for both systems. Well, the three systems, Launiupoko potable system, Olowalu potable and non-potable system. And the Launiupoko system's operating cost is $879,664 with a revenue of $2,561,044. So obviously that number is bigger than the revenues number is 2 million and the operating cost is less than 900,000. So the revenue is more than the operating cost. And then Olowalu, the operating cost is 671,554. And the revenue is 734,363. So again, the revenue is more than the operating cost. So it is projected to operate in the black and not in the red. And then if you want to hear about the legal status of the Kauaula Stream, I did pull that out, but that is not concerning the systems that we are discussing today. Mahalo, Chair.
Thank you. Chair Lee.
Thank you for that long-winded explanation, Ms. Rollins. But
anytime, Chair.
But I have, and I'm entitled to my opinion, right? Yeah. Thank you very much. And my information says that the Board of Water Supply, through its TIG report, is concerned about permits surface and groundwater in the Lahaina district. So, which includes Launiupoko and Olowalu. So as far as I'm concerned, I would like to hear from them and Shame on them for not knowing our agenda. But the fact is, I said I want to hear from them. If you folks want to vote on this, go right ahead. So please don't debate my point of view, okay? Thank you. Aloha.
So department, is there a reason why you didn't refer this to Board of Water Supply? Based upon what Sherry just said?
Well, Board of Water Supply does review the budgets of the department, including the funding requests for acquisition of the water system. So they do have an opportunity to discuss all of this.
Well, so you're saying they did already?
Well, I mean, the Board of Water Supply also determines, their own candidates and what they feel is appropriate areas or most concerning areas or whatnot. If the membership is asking for a formal opinion request or something like that, that's, I guess, different than what the Board of Water Supply is expressing directly right now that they have concerns. So I mean, you guys just let us know how you want to proceed.
So if this body wants to refer this to the Board of Water Supply, what does that do to your time schedule?
I believe they only meet like once a month, so that means that they wouldn't take it up until probably September, and then then refer back the item to council or committee. So then that would be September or maybe into October, depending on the timing of the meeting. And then the council would have to act from there. So that could be into October or later, depending on the timing of the meeting. So then that it impacts the PUC docket schedule and kind of what's anticipated for the acquisition timeline, as well as I guess what remains to be seen too is where the seller would stand as well if we're unable to take more timely action on these items. We would have to have conversations with them about delays in the process, and then whether that would impact any of the discussions or agreements at all.
Oh, interesting. You mean the seller might pull back?
No, I mean I can't say that, and I wouldn't have an indication that they would. I just can't speak on behalf of the seller, and so I do know that there are for all the water systems that we're talking about and whatnot, there could be potential for other buyers and other plans and stuff like that. So I mean, it's going to be a matter of what we would have to notify the seller of any changes to that potential timeline, and then discuss from there.
So didn't you tell us that PUC would not be till next year?
Well, it would, under the timeline that was provided, it would get transmitted to the PUC after council approval. The PUC is anticipated to take a number of months to debate the item and, investigate and whatever else they need to do before approval is given. And then there's some steps that have to be taken after PUC approval, both by the county and potentially the seller for it to reach that closing timeline. And then that would be projected to begin by April next year.
Remember you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Sounds like there's not.
We can control the PUC timeline on when they would take up the item or what kind of questions they would ask and whatnot, but that potentially, could be a months-long process going before them to get approval. That has already been factored in our discussions with the seller on this acquisition. But if there was additional kind of time delays or anything like that, I think we would just need to be forthright to them about that, and then see if there was any concerns or changes from that standpoint.
Yeah. Member Paulson, you have your hand up.
Thank you. I move to pass resolution 26-116 on to first reading.
Second.
Okay, motion made by member Paulson, second by member Rollins Hernandez. Discussion.
Thank you. So my understanding is that the county or the water department enlisted Carollo Engineering to do a comprehensive review on the system liability and the entirety of the system assets. And they contributed that report to NewGen, who analyzed the financial investment value of the systems. And, while nobody can see the future, in nearly every seaworm meeting that I've been to, it's kind of been a packed house of people saying that 28% of the water for West Maui is too little bit to have under public control, and 77% is too much to have under private interest control. Langapopo Irrigation was a similar been run by a similar group to Langapopo Water in the distant past. Has racked up a lot of fines from seaworm, and I think that the county works in a much more transparent way and doesn't just willfully disregard laws in terms of diversions and things like that. And so I'll speak in full support of it, and I don't think it's a smart move to delay it any further. We know what happened to the Ma'alaya land last time when we started like goofing around, and then Peter Martin bought it, and then all this other stuff. And I think thankfully now it's back in under like public trust, but we don't want to even deal with that kind of drama, if you ask me. Thank you.
Member Rollins Hernandez.
Hello, Chair. I echo Member Paulton's sentiments. This is what the West Side has been asking for: public control over water. The part of the reason that the whole ground and surface water management area was something that the West Side community was asking for is because almost 90% of the water was controlled by private interest. So we're now rectifying this by taking control on behalf of the community for the public, in the public's interest of water. I don't think we should shame the Board of Water Supply for not taking up this item. They're volunteers. And if they were seriously concerned, I have zero doubt that they would have quickly met on this to transmit to us their position on this. But because they didn't, to me, it tells me that they weren't concerned. Opinions are like buttholes. We all have one, but opinions are not more important than facts. Mahalo, Chair.
Chair, before you go to Member Cook, is it okay to clarify that my motion was to recommend adoption at first reading?
I think that's what you said.
I think I said pass.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which adoption is like more appropriate.
So fine. Yes, you guys can find it that way. All right. Correction. So Member Cook, you want to say something else, Member Paulson?
Is that okay with my seconder to substitute pass for adoption?
Okay.
Yes.
Member.
No objection.
Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. I'm supportive of this because of the nuts and bolts. There's a whole lot of political and social desires and whatnot. I think that the appraisal and the investigation into the water system was thorough. The fact that the deputy director and some of the journeymen that actually work on the system went out during that process really raised my comfort level. The comments that they relayed to me was they were basically impressed with the maintenance and the installation of the system. This is one of like 3 big water purchase projects that we have in front of us. This particular one, I think, is the most simple and cut and dry, and I'm supportive of it and hopeful that we can And one of the big things, I'm confident that the water department, with the additional staff that we have, the council has allocated to them in the last budget, was they'll be able to maintain and manage this system that's already functioning, already serving clients. And the fact that it will not be PUC regulated in the future because it's the county of Maui, I think it's a win-win all the way around. So I just wanted to weigh in. I'm supportive of this. Thank you very much, Chair.
Okay. Very good. Chair Lee.
Yeah, I request a roll call because I'll be voting no. As I said earlier, my vote could change later at the council meeting. However, for now, I don't feel comfortable. My process for decision-making is reliant not only on facts, but objectivity. I try not to get emotional with my decision-making, and I am very concerned about the financial state of the county. And that's where my priority lies, that we're making a wise and prudent decision economically, financially. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Member Batangan.
Thank you, Chair. I'll be supporting the motion at this time. We heard the proposal in Member Cook's committee in the past. I was able to ask a lot of my questions then. I was supportive of it then. I do want to note, though, that throughout my tenure, I've always said that when presented with new information, I'm open to taking a new position. And since we heard it in committee, we have gotten quite a bit of information. We had a follow-up, or not a follow-up meeting, but we had another meeting on a different land acquisition in West Maui, in which new information was presented. We received a Seaworm letter. And we did hear from the Board of Water Supply, whose members said that they wanted to be able to weigh in on these on matters, large and small. And so I don't think it's fair to chastise members for wanting to do deliberation. I am still supportive of this, but if I get additional information from the Board of Water Supply meeting that comes up, I might be open to taking a different position. I just want that stated. So, Chair, for all of the reasons that we had previously discussed, I will be supporting the motions on the floor. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have any comments before I take a roll call vote? Member Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. I support this. You know, the county purchasing infrastructure for me is that's kind of the way I like to do things, because when I think of infrastructure, the word that comes to mind is crumbling. And throughout our county, we have so much work to do on infrastructure to get a working system that we can no longer take it out of the privatized hands and put it in the public hands. That's right up my alley. So I'm going to support this. And I think that there's more work to be done, and more work to be considered, more things to be considered when we talk about like our large $1.6 billion budget. We should be purchasing up private water systems. We should be purchasing up land. We should purchasing up some of those houses on the Minatoilus, those condos on the Minatoilus, so that we can all have this connected to have our people live and thrive. This is taking the profit out of it and putting in the service into it. And that's what I'm here for. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I'll also be supporting this today. I know Member Cook has been working on this for a long time, so I'm happy that we got to this point, I'll be honest. Not always do we have a willing seller for water and infrastructure, and I'm really happy that we do today and we had the other week. Right now we have two, which is pretty historical. I would love to see more of our water in the county's control. I know things are sometimes extremely expensive, but I think for $6 million, it's a very small percentage in our overall budget. I know we're going to have to figure it out, and we have to cut costs in certain places, but I don't think the ownership of our water is where we want to begin. I understand everybody has different perspectives, but today I'm happy to be at this point, and I'll be supporting it today and in the future votes to come. Thank you.
Member Paulson, you did speak. You want to say anything else?
I'm ready to vote.
Okay. All right. Roll call, please.
Chair, members proceeding with roll call. Councilmember Tom Cook, Committee Member Tom Cook,
Aye.
Committee Member Gabe Johnson,
Yes.
Committee Member and Council Chair Alice Lee,
No.
Committee Member Tamara Fulton. Aye. Committee Member Keone Rollins Hernandez,
Aye.
Committee Member Shane Sinisi,
Excuse.
Committee Member Ubu Hodges,
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair Batonga,
Aye.
and Committee Chair Nikki Sigmund.
Aye.
Chair, that is 7 ayes, 1 no, and 1 excuse.
Motion carries.
Motion.
Okay, thank you. So Shirley, I hope you do get more information from the Board of Water Supply. If there are concerns from them based upon what you said. And this motion, I mean, this will now transfer and go to you. Council. Okay, anything else?
Nope, thank you.
Thank you.
Chair,
Thank you,
committee members.
Thank you, Resources, for joining us today. Okay, you want to go to the next item or you want to take a 10-minute break? Should we take a 10-minute break?
Chair.
I'd like to request a break, please.
Okay, we will then. So it's 10:10.
Hey, everyone.
10:20. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Budget Finance Economic Development Committee. We're now taking up the second item on our agenda, which is BFED 20 taxi cab rates and fare and baggage charges, and BFED 64 Bill 101 2026 on taxi cab baggage and equipment charges. So members, I will call up this item, and both involve taxi cab baggage and equipment charges. The first item is BFED 20 for 30 on Rule 7B, discussion on taxi cab rates and fare and baggage charges. This item includes the Department of Finance biennial report on taxi cab rates of fare and baggage charges required under Section 5.16.100 Maui County Code. The report is in Granicus 1. No legislative will be taken on the report. The second item on BFED 64 Bill 101 2026, which would update taxi cab baggage and equipment charges. Bill 101 would increase the general charge from 50 cents to $1 per piece per trip, and it would also authorize a $10 charge for specific oversized or heavy items and certain equipment. We will receive opening comments and testimony on both these items and then discuss them together. Assisting us with our testimony today, we have Director Marcy Martin. I saw her earlier, so she must be on the call. As well as Jingo Tamayo and Mr. Rudy Mendoza, representing Maui taxi cab operators. Members, if there's no objections, I'd like to designate Mr. Tamayo and Mr. Mendoza as a resource person under Rule 18A of the Rules of the Council based on their expertise with taxi cab operations. No objection. Thank you.
No objections.
I will also, thank you. I will also ask for opening comments from Director Martin and as well as our resources. Director Martin.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for including us today. We are here as a resource. I have Lito Villa, the DMVL administrator, also as a resource. And we have reviewed Bill 101 and we have no comments or concerns. And again, happy to assist you today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Villa. I don't see him. Is he on?
I will get him.
I believe it's Carmelito Villa. We just promoted him.
Okay, so you're on now.
Maybe you gotta use his full name.
Are you there?
I'm here, Chair. Good morning, everybody.
Okay. Morning.
Good morning.
So do you have any
I'm
comments?
here to assist, as Director Martin says, we're here to support the council, and whatever is decided, we're going to execute it.
Oh, okay, very good. So anybody else? Then I'm going to open this up for public testimony. Any testifiers?
Thank you, Chair. There's currently no one signed up to testify on this item. Would you like to do a last call?
Yes, please.
Thank you. If anyone would like to testify on this item, please identify yourself using the raise your hand feature on Teams. And if you're calling in, you can use *5 to raise your hand. This will be a last call for testimony. 3, 2, 1. Chair, I see no one wishing in. Actually, I'm sorry, I do have one testifier.
Okay, so
1 second.
The testifier, then hang on. So if you're testifying, please identify yourself by name and organization, if there is any. And you have one item on the agenda, so you're testifying on that. And members may have questions after you're done testimony. And well, on this agenda. So on this particular part of the agenda regarding taxi cab, there's the bill 101. And okay. So you have 3 minutes. Please identify yourself, and if you're not completed, I'll give you another 30 seconds. Proceed, please.
Okay, aloha. I'm testifying as a citizen of the Hawaiian Kingdom, and I just wanted to comment that can there so this is about fees for taxis and stuff like that. So can the Native Hawaiian and Kanaka Maoli people be free of charge of any of these things? Mahalo. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any questions, members? See
We'll
none.
work on that.
Next testifier.
Thank you, Chair. That's our last testifier willing, or who's indicated so far. So to do a last call again.
Yes, please.
Thank you. If anyone would like to testify on this item, please raise your hand on Teams or use *5 on your phone to raise your hand. This will be last call for testimony. 3, 2, and 1. Chair, I see no one wishing to indicating they wish to testify.
Thank you. So we're going to close public testimony, receive any written testimony on this item regarding taxi cabs, and I'm going to close public testimony at this time. So members, anybody have questions for the testifiers? I'm sorry, not testifiers, for the resources. Anybody have any, nothing? Okay, so I have, Member Johnson.
I have a question in regards to who enforces all of these rates. Who would be, if there's a taxi who wants to complain that these other guys are not following the rates, who do they call? Is it DMV? Is it finance? Who's enforcing all these?
Director of Finance or Mr. Orvila.
Thank you, Chair. I'll attempt to answer that. The DMV's function is to issue the licenses, and it's based upon the county code. And our understanding is county code is enforced by the Enforcement Division of Maui Police. However, that would probably fall under their myriad of tasks to follow on.
So everybody's at the cruise ship waiting to, all the taxis are lined up. Little Tommy says, I'll take you for $10, and little Susie said, I'll take you for $8. That's, who enforces that? Isn't there, like, they're getting in fights is what I'm hearing. There's people getting really competitive, and there's drama and all kinds of stuff going on over there. So who do they call police for that? Is what you're saying?
So I have some comments to add if finance doesn't mind. Mr. Villa, is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. So, so I've been getting calls from PUC operators of what you're talking about versus taxi cab. And they're two different licenses. And I also found out that when this whole discussion is when cruise ship comes in, the PUC operators are saying that the taxi drivers are taking business away from them. Only authorized people can, first of all, go into the harbor area, which is restricted by state DOT. So county has no jurisdiction over that. So that's the first thing I learned. And that only PUC drivers can go in there. So as far as that allegation, they would have to talk to the state DOT Harbors Division, not the County of Maui. And I think I don't know anything about London. I mean, well, if that's a harbor, right? So harbors takes care of harbors, county takes care of not that area. And the other thing that I found out is the PUC licenses are specifically issued to them to do tours. So I think, I'm going to guess on this, I think they have set fees. Like if you want to go to Hana, it's going to be $200 or whatever it is.
It's a price.
Taxi drivers charge a fare based on, is it by time? Meter, right? Whatever the meter says. So it's when your meter is running. So it's two different operations. And because the PUC operators have been calling me 5 o'clock in the morning, I got a call thinking, oh my God, something happened at Hana because he mentioned Hana. So I, of course, I got to answer the call. And I wanted to make sure that the driver was okay. And it was, his concern was this. So I have a contact that he can call with PUC to express his concern regarding his PUC license. So on today's agenda is not about PUC and that particular concern, although you and I are both hearing their concern, so I want to help them.
Yeah.
And I will contact the person you're talking to contacted me. So I have his cell number and I'll give him the PUC contact so that he can express his
Okay.
concerns to you.
Chair, I don't want to take us off the rails. I just want to know who's doing the enforcement, but it's not an easy, it's a lot of gray areas. On this side of the parking lot is these guys. Oh my God, what a mess. All right. I don't want to take up any more time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chair.
Because they can't even get in. Taxi drivers cannot even get into the harbors unless if they have the PUC, is what I understand. This is the research based upon that I did. So any other questions? Thank you, Member Johnson. Okay, so before we go into the bill, because I would like to approve it, I just wondered if Department of Finance came up with any principal findings from the department's financial biennial review beyond what we're talking about today. And that would be my only question. None?
Chair Lito Villa, when we reviewed the rates as we compared the other counties, none. And it appears that when looking at the other county rates, the Maui is probably the lowest as far as the regular baggage rate at this point in time.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for doing your review, by the way, and that's why we're taking this item up. So then, members, there's no other questions, then okay, we're good. Would you like to say anything before I pass the bill?
Just pass the bill. Are you taking both of them at the same time?
Oh,
I did take both of them.
Oh, okay.
yeah. Okay, anybody else?
No.
Okay, you guys want to say anything?
No, we're good. We're just thankful that Mr. Vila and the finance director did a very good research by stating the fact that so far in the entire state of Hawaii, we in Maui County has the lowest charges of the baggage and all those luggage carried onto our taxi cabs at the airport. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So, all right. So at this time, then I'm going to entertain a motion to pass Bill 101, 2026 on first reading.
So moved.
Yay. Is there a second? Second by Member Rollins Fernandez or Town Clerk or Member Wuhan. So we got a lot of seconds. Discussion.
I would love to propose an amendment to say in section D, it would read as follows. A flat charge of $1 per piece per trip for each piece of equipment or baggage handled by the driver in loading, unloading, or both, except that a charge of $10 for each transported large pet crate, oversized baggage, golf club bag, bicycle, surfboard, or item weighing more than 50 pounds. Motorized and non-motorized wheelchairs will be transported at no charge. That would be my motion to amend. Basically removing the may be added because it's causing some confusion.
Okay. Is there a second? Second Member Rollins Fernandez. Okay. Also, just for consistency, the Court Counsel or Mr. Hanano, can you talk about how this would impact E on the bill, which is not on before us today, but can you explain this? We would have to change that also.
Yeah, Chair. So as proposed by Councilmember Polkan, I think her intent was to remove the phrase "may be added" and just eliminate that. I would suggest putting another word like applies in case of that phrase. And so there's two places where we'll do that. One would be at the beginning where it said a flat charge of $1 per piece per trip. I would say applies for each piece of equipment or baggage handled by the driver in loading, unloading, or both, except that a charge of $10 applies for each transported large pet crate, motorcycle baggage, golf club bag, bicycle, surfboard, or item weighing more than 50 pounds.
It's necessary.
I think so, because if you don't put that in there, it's kind of missing a verb.
Yeah. Okay. friendly amendment, I'll accept it if my seconder can accept it.
Okay, very good. And in E, for airport pickup fee of $5 applies. Okay,
That's
that also. Okay, and then one more thing that I wanted clarification on. Well, we're going to vote on this first. Any other discussion regarding this amendment? Not, can we vote? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. Aye. So who's not here? Member Sinensi is not here.
Member Cook is
And we can't,
flicker.
yeah,
Oh,
member
Member
Cook
Cook, can you see
doesn't
the
look like he
voting?
hears us.
Member
doesn't
Cook,
hear
we're
us.
voting. Oh, Member Cook, can you hear us? He's talking to
No.
somebody else.
I'm voting for him. He's supporting.
Member Cook, can you hear us, Member Cook? Okay.
Yeah,
good.
my apology. I got distracted with my staff.
Okay.
I'm in agreement.
So all in favor, raise your hand, say aye. And who's excused is
Aye.
Member Sinensi.
Same
All
vote?
right.
Same vote.
Stable. So next is an amendment for clarification. Under oversized baggage means baggage that measures more than 62 linear inches, calculating at a sum of a length, width, and height, or weighs 50 pounds or more. So the or more and delete more than is the motion. I need a second.
Are you adding?
I'm adding or more and deleting more than instead of 50.
You're adding a section E.
No, this is under oversized baggage. Look above section 3.
Oh, I see.
Under section 2.
So
oversized baggage. There's second, thank you. Remember Uhajin second. So now oversized baggage will be weighs 50 pounds or more.
Chair.
Yeah, yes.
So if that is going to be part of the amendment, then I think we also need to amend section B. Similar language.
Okay.
So at the end where it says, for an item weighing more than 50 pounds, correct? Just that.
50 pounds
or more. Oh yeah, I see that. Okay.
To my original second.
Very good. Very good.
And my secondary agree.
That's agreed. So it is clean, and all in favor, members, raise your hand, say aye. Mr. Okay, good. So motion carries. So that's going to be 8 ayes, 1 excused, member Sinensi. Yay,
Okay.
we're done.
Wait, Chair, I have a question.
Also the main motion.
Oh, the main motion has amended. Go ahead.
Okay. Before we get to the main motion, can I get clarity on the first amendment that we took? So the Bill 101, 2026, I see proposed language to amend section 3, subsection D. You mentioned something about E relating to airports. I don't see that.
Yes. Because it's the rest of the chapter. So can Corp Counsel or can Mr. Hanano explain and say that we can make something?
Okay, so basically we're amending subsection D to remove the maybe added language in both areas in subsection D, and also to make subsection E consistent with that, we would remove the maybe language as well and substitute applies.
Okay. So it's on. So the only code amendment to section E, which is not part of this bill, is for consistency, and it's just that maybe added portion.
That's correct.
Okay, understood. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Rollins Fernandez, Councilmember Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo Chair. Okay, so it's going to be 50 pounds or more. So it includes 50 pounds. Are they gonna have like a weight thing, or like how are they gonna? I mean, I don't like really care, but yeah. Can someone answer how they're gonna like, weight it?
Airport. Isn't 50 pounds of
Yes.
at the airport, and so if it's over that, they have like this orange thing that says heavy, oversized.
There's a sticker.
There's a sticker, but hopefully
What if they
don't
remove it?
break it off. Yeah.
Well, let's hope they're honest.
Yeah, and then just to clarify, the sticker is for 50 pounds or more, or 51 pounds or more. I want the airport regulation to be the same as our ours if we're relying on the sticker for enforcement.
Also, I would just take out like a couple pounds and put it inside another bag to
Yes.
avoid an extra charge.
But I guess for our resource personnel, the overweight sticker applies to 50 pounds or more, or 51 pounds or more.
It's over 50 pounds and more. That's
Okay,
when
so
we
it's
put
inclusive
this-
of 50. Okay,
But we just made the amendment 50 pounds. Or
correct. I'm just making sure that our amendment is consistent with what the airlines do, since
Yeah,
the
the
sticker is the
sticker is
enforcement mechanism.
more than 50 pounds because you're allowed
More than
50
50.
pounds.
They allow.
Okay, thank you.
But again, there's no like limit to the amount of bags when you go into a taxi versus when you go onto a plane. So, I mean, I think other people would do the same. Just take out a couple pounds, done.
Yeah, because if you load anything in the plane and it's more than 50 pounds, then you have to pay more. But in our case, we cannot. It's just that $10. That's it. It's oversized.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying like I would just take out a couple pounds and then I would put it in another bag
Yeah.
and avoid the extra charge. Because there's no limit on bags in a taxi. But
Don't tell the taxi
I
driver
support.
that's their duties.
I don't think I have to tell anyone this strategy. I think it's pretty common sense what to avoid, the frugal people.
Well, they do that too. You know, even before boarding the plane, if the passenger knows that his luggage is over the allowable weight, right before they check in, they'll move around just to go through without paying extra. So it's not something unusual. Everybody does the same thing.
Okay,
Correct.
very good.
But sure, I can support.
Okay, very good. So now the discussion, all in favor, main motion as amended. All in favor, raise your hand. Say aye. So that would be 7 ayes.
I think I saw Mr. Vila's.
Oh, Mr. Vila, did you want to say something before we vote? Sorry. And Mr.
Thank you, Chair. I was just reflecting upon the applies verbiage that was proposed. If the intent is we want the charge to be assessed, maybe we should change it to shall and change it to shall be charged.
Thank
So
you,
it's
Mr. Vila.
mandated.
We don't want to do that. We want to say applies. We like
Okay.
applies. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, but thank you. All right, so we're gonna go main motion as amended. All in favor, raise your hand. Say aye. All right, so we have 8 ayes, 1 excused, which is Member Senenzi. Motion carries. Bill done. Very good. So this will then go over and be sent to Council Chair's committee or first reading. Oh, done with this meeting. All in favor of adjourning. Okay, this meeting is now adjourned, 10:50.
Thank you very much.
Bye.